Hi everyone, my name is Emily. I am a occupational therapy student at the University of St. Augustine, and this is a little introduction video on my program for yoga and productive aging. I got the idea for this project as yoga has changed my life drastically, and when I was working in a skilled nursing facility for my 2A rotation, I couldn't help but think how all of these yoga principles could also be applied to elderly individuals and hopefully improve their quality of life as well. The program goal is to provide resources and educational materials on the benefits of adding yoga as an adjunct therapeutic tool for productive aging. This program can address activities of daily living and instrumental activities of daily living deficits through adaptable and specialized yoga sequences in order to improve strength, flexibility, range of motion, balance, confidence, fear of falling, mental and emotional regulation, breathing techniques and awareness, and I could go on, but the most important of these is to enhance others' quality of life. So for my deliverables for this project, I made a manual for yoga for productive aging, which includes various flows, a background of productive aging and OT, and aging and the benefits of yoga, so on and so forth. It includes various specialized flows for core work, pelvic floor, confidence, chair yoga, healthcare providers, Alzheimer's and dementia, so on and so forth. Included in this manual are visual as well as verbal cues for all of the postures and breathing techniques and mindfulness strategies and things like that. So therapists, instructors, and students can utilize the resources as best as possible for them specifically. Additionally, I have a correlating YouTube channel under Yoga for Emily, which is probably the platform that you're watching this video on right now as well, but I filmed myself doing all of these since I wasn't able to go into the nursing homes and do them because of COVID. But these are all free and for public viewing on my channel. One of my most favorite parts of this program was the social media interaction that I was able to have with community members through social media platforms. So I have an Instagram page that highlights various articles and tips for getting down to the mat and safely practicing yoga. And I was able to communicate back and forth with a variety of other yoga instructors and therapists, and they were able to give me constructive feedback, and I was able to send them a few videos as well through social media. So I wanted to highlight a few ways that the manual and videos can be used. If you are a healthcare provider, I kind of wrote this to occupational therapists, but it can be for PTs or anything of that nature. But conduct your regular activity analysis upon client intake, determine their ADL and IADL deficits, overall their occupational profile. Determine your interventions and treatment plan, and remember precautions. I can't stress that enough in each of my videos. I don't know the specific patient, so that was kind of hard for me to determine, but you determine that on your own. And then decide if a yoga flow would improve your intervention. Would it help you arrive to your short or long-term goals? And then pick and choose between the poses offered and the techniques that work for both you and your client. One great thing about yoga is that it's highly adaptable, and we can modify it in so many different ways to make it work for us. So I hope that this helps all of my therapists out there. And if you're a caregiver, maybe go through my YouTube channel or look up other YouTube videos. Look up research on the specific condition and see if yoga has been used for this condition before. Also, always consult with your doctor or surgeon to see if this is something that could work for you and is safe. And also pick and choose those poses and techniques that work for you and not against you. Additionally, if you are a caregiver, it can be quite burdensome to fully care for another individual mentally and physically and emotionally. So some of these videos may work for you as well. So setting achievable goals. Once again, this is still in a practice setting in which we have to document our care. Yoga's interventions can target so many of our goals that I have written in skilled nursing facilities, like increasing flexibility, range of motion, balance, emotional and sleep regulation. In the grand scheme of things, reduce falls, decrease hospital readmissions and burden of care. And eventually, what all the words that we all love are to improve occupational performance. And knowing that we can come back to those building blocks and say, okay, how can we improve occupational performance? And then creating a flow that targets that through, bringing synovial fluid to the joints, bringing awareness to our breath, becoming present in the moment, and then working towards some of these, increased flexibility, range of motion, balance over time, thus improving our occupational performance. So let's set achievable goals when we're using these techniques. At the core of yoga teaching, we have some principles that we can discuss. The first being principles of alignment. So these are verbal cues and also things that we can demonstrate physically that align the spine and stack the joints. So things like lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, tucking the shoulder blades in and down the spine, sitting up straight and tall, expanding through our chest, grounding the sit bones through our chair, expanding our toes out on our mat, creating a foundational base. Things like that we can consistently remind our students that they can use as biomechanical techniques throughout their day, throughout various activities of daily living. The second technique is to provide lots of modifications to each posture, whether that be using the wall or a block, or maybe coming down onto the mat for a standing posture or doing something in the bed. As this is a core therapy principle as well, we can also apply it in yoga. Breathing techniques are so important. Our breath is grounding in our practice and also translates throughout our day. So if we can get our students to understand how to control their breath and realize that they are in control of how they respond to things, which is almost always connected to our breath, it will be very beneficial to them throughout the rest of their days. Next, we have bringing awareness, which is simultaneously linked with the breathing techniques as well. Through breathing and centering the mind, maybe closing the eyes, doing a guided meditation, or something where the students can just breathe for a second, become present in the moment, and relax is so important to mental and emotional health. And lastly, we have inclusive and affirmative language. So this is just using our language that doesn't seem authoritative. So you need to come down to downward dog now. Instead, let's say, let's come down into downward dog as we begin to lengthen our hamstrings out. We want to use our language to positively affect the practice, make others feel welcome and proud of themselves for showing up today. But thank you guys so much for listening to a few details about my project. I hope that it will help you and your clients' lives or your family members' lives. And just remember to just breathe. It's all we need to do yoga. Have a good day, guys.